taken away from all that, Stuart.
140.
In the last 5 legs, has been pretty irresistible. 11s, 12s, 13s. Anything good here? But possibly another 12.
38. Thank you.
Just do the business.
121.
One, 2, 1.
Well, ruthless. He really has. 106.5. Double 8. Last 5 legs have been won in 60 darts with an average of 125 from Phil Taylor. The last 6 legs. Brilliant for Taylor. James Wade clearly not happy. Clearly not at the races in this semi-final. But Phil Taylor wants to win the Masters. And he's doing a pretty good job of it. He will go through and play either Barney or Lewis in the final. Taylor wins 10-1.
Well, quite a strange game, I think you'll agree, in a number of ways, really. The bottom line is that Phil has breezed through to the final at James Wade's expense, who looked fractious and frustrated and out of sorts and frankly disinterested for the last few legs. Of course, he was getting a pasting, and Phil, with 106 plus, was far too strong. Whatever happened earlier on with the flight, we may find out. We'll hear from those involved hopefully in a minute or two, but stats wise it's neither here nor there. But
great checkout percentage.
Yeah. Yeah, 100% from James. Yeah. What went on there then?
I don't know, he's not in a good place at the minute. Struggling, you know, with obviously well publicised illness that he has, you know, ADHD and bipolar. He's just on a lot of medication, I think. I just don't think he's in it, you know, and that's the problem with depression. One day you can be, like we've seen him yesterday, battling and feel like you can take on the world. The next day you just can't be bothered.
But the specific incident, if it was an incident, somewhere early in the match where it looked like Phil threw what he, I guess, thought was a broken flight away.
Yeah,
perhaps it wasn't. Was it on his case? We don't know.
I think
Here's the moment.
He was changing his flight, and I think he might have had the replacement on Phil's case, and Phil might have thought it was the broken one and discarded it.
Yeah.
Oh, and I think he has. He's got it, but actually, yeah, it was the actual one to go back in.
But really, you can't, even if it was on purpose, and it's highly doubtful. It's a bit playground, isn't it?
Yeah. I think I don't know. I mean, if it is, well, it's hard to explain how James is thinking. You know, like I said, he's in a terrible place, and you know his mind's maybe playing tricks with him. You know, I personally thought it was the one that was broken, and Phil was just discarding it, stop you from putting it back in, maybe, or maybe James put it on his case, and Phil thought, not having that on my case, and throw it on the floor. But it's done. You know, it's a big game. It's a semi-final of a new event. It's 50 grand up for grabs, and he just lost the plot.
I mean, he's had a tough couple of days. Naturally, he was getting grief,
yeah, he was,
even as he came out tonight. So even if you're a real strong character who's full of positive thoughts,
oh my God, mate, I've had it.
It's hard.
I've had it. It makes you feel horrific. You get up there, you try your guts out, and you're made to feel like nobody wants you there. And then you put that in with playing the greatest player in the world, who's averaging 106, and it is, you know, you just want the stage to swallow you up. It's a horrific place. But you throw in like a bit of mental illness in there, and you know, a little bit of depression, and it is a terrible place.
And you're up against, exactly as you say, a man who is still very much
relentless.
the one to beat.
He's relentless. If he sees a tiniest bit of weakness in you, he'll bury you. He wants to beat you 10-0. You know,
he nearly did.
Well, yeah, he nearly did. If he's 8-0 up in a race to 10 and you pinch your leg off him, it's fuming. You've got no chance of winning the match. You can see it in his face. He really wants to beat everybody he plays to nil.
Yeah. 7-1 quickly became 9-1, and well, at least it was a procession, wasn't it? I think
absolutely.
everybody knew, including the two players, that
James had thrown the towel in at this point, and just, you know, whether what happened previously had affected him, and, you know, like you said, with the crowd on him, there was no fight left in him, and, you know, just a shame really, because you know, potentially they usually have good matches. I mean, James's record against him is like everyone else's, terrible. But it's usually a good battle, usually stretches him a bit. I expected that to go maybe 15, 16 legs. I'd never ever saw a 10-1 in there, because I did think he would push him, but, well, you know, he just 73 average wouldn't push me down the Red Lion.
we'll try and find out a little bit more about what happened and how the two players feel about it, but we'll pause for a moment. Of course, we've got the second semi-final not far away, but Flightgate in full flow. Was it a turning point? Certainly got under somebody's skin. We're back with more from the Royal Highland Centre in just a couple of minutes.